What we're doing here today is presenting a service yoga workshop. When you enter into communities, I think oftentimes we, especially with service, you look at it from a deficit lens. Like, what's this need of this community? Whereas if you are somebody that's receiving those services, you don't want people to be thinking of you as a deficit. Like, the example I always use is when you have guests in the town, you don't bring them to the crappiest parts of your town. You bring them to the parts that you love and you want to show. So when you're trying to build relationships with people, and if you're just focusing on their deficits, the faults, the things that you're trying to fix, it automatically puts them in a place where it's harder for them to join and feel connected. And so how we can kind of be mindful and intentional about how we enter these communities is a very important part of the process.
I started OG Yoga almost 3 years ago in response to trauma and in response to people who had experienced violence, substance abuse, homelessness, and incarceration. We partner across the systems that serve these people in the belief that with trauma-informed and mindfulness-based yoga, we can help them successfully get out of their programs and successfully not recidivate back into those programs. OG Yoga is hosting a workshop to dive deeper into trauma and how we tailor yoga practice for individuals who have suffered trauma, how we change language, how we even change how we dress.
So I wouldn't wear this tank top into the girls' rehabilitation facility. I would wear my shirt. And we always wear looser pants. We want the practice to be around this inner journey, not what's being worn and what our body looks like.
We will be diving deeper into what is trauma, what are the effects on the body, and how do we use yoga to release trauma from the body.
Our primary job is to re-empower coming back into the body.
On the fire department, we're subjected to a lot of traumas that we suppress and don't process. And I sustained an on-the-job injury, and once I did that, I had stuff was kind of bubbling up, and I realized that there's so much that we have to process, and yoga did that for me. And so what I wanted to do was bring yoga to the fire department, police department, to the military, and to youth that have been exposed to trauma, and try and help them work through that by processing. We're supposed to be so brave. We don't really talk about it, and it needs to be talked about, because if we could learn how to breathe through yoga, we could probably prevent a lot of, processing. We could do so much more for ourselves and then in turn for the community. It was really enlightening to hear that just a matter of breathing can bring our heart rate down, that will bring our stress levels down, and bring us to a place where we can calm and process things that we need to.
Inhale, lengthen both sides of the rib cage. Exhale, and surrender.
This workshop for service yoga is so essential to yoga teachers. We're able to really meet the needs of our students, and whether it's in the studio, in the community, in corporations. It's such valuable information since so many people have experienced trauma, to be able to teach appropriately in yoga classes.
The OG model is a paid instructor model. So not only do our instructors who we send out into the field have a certification to be at least a 200 yoga teacher instructor, but they're also specially trained in trauma-informed and mindfulness-based yoga delivery. And they're experienced, and we continue to train them.
It changes how we bring ourselves, it changes how vulnerable we are, and it impacts the actual service that we're actually providing.